Welcome to Roughcut, a student-produced variety show. I'm Nadine DeJesus. We have plenty in store for you today. Let's first head to the news desk where the MBS 39 News crew will give us an update on the news and the weather.
Coming from Bloomsburg University, this is MBS 39 News. With your anchors, Nadine DeJesus, Caitlin Doyle, Connell Smith, Brian Ortiz, and your local weatherman, Hurricane Hans.
Your MBS News starts now.
Welcome to NBS 39 News. I'm Caitlin Doyle.
And I'm Brian Ortiz.
Our top story tonight centers around a march that happened on campus in protest of an executive order put in place by President Donald Trump. Our field reporter Connell Smith was on location to give us the full story.
I'm live here at Carver Hall at Bloomsburg University, where the BU Indivisible March is underway. It's a march that goes against President Trump's executive order that bans Muslim immigrants and refugees from 7 Muslim-majority nations from entering the United States. So far, this order, amongst the many others that have come out in the president's first few weeks in office, has been the most unpopular and most controversial. Students here at Bloomsburg University are holding a rally in solidarity with the Muslim community, standing with them against the president's order and using the hashtag #NoBan.
No fear! Everyone is welcome here! I'm here today because the policies that our current president or that their president have currently implemented are disgusting, xenophobic, and hypocritical all around.
This order suspends new refugee admissions for 120 days and blocks travelers from 7 Muslim-majority countries such as Iraq, Iran, Syria, Yemen, Sudan, Libya, and Somalia for at least 90 days. Concurrently, Syrian refugees are banned indefinitely.
Come together and show unity and show the fact that we stand together, definitely, and get our message out there. You know, we are the future, you know.
I think it's fine. It's a First Amendment right. You know, they're allowed to protest and march. I like to hear all points of view, so I just wanted to hear what everybody had to say, their views on why they were coming out today.
Friday afternoon was an example of a peaceful demonstration. It proved that both sides are capable of cordial conversation with each other and understanding all different points of view on the matter at hand. I'm Connell Smith, live at Carver Hall at Bloomsburg University. Back to you, Kate and Brian.
Thanks, Connell. In a more recent development on the ban, it appears as though the Federal Appeals Court has rejected the request to reinstate the controversial ban, freezing it until it could be further investigated.
And an issue that could possibly hit closer to home and affect other communities around Pennsylvania is the closing and merging of state schools around PA. It has been reported that state funding for PASHE has gone down $60 million, and along with the decrease in funding, there has also been a decrease in students enrolled in PASHE schools. While it's not clear which schools will be closing and which ones will be expanding to compensate for the new students, the end of the year goal is to have enough data collected and make the final decision, needing the approval from state legislature.
On February 1st, the James T. Vaughn Correctional Facility in Smyrna, Delaware went on lockdown. Officials say a fight broke out in Cell Block C Wednesday morning that turned out to be a trap. 4 officers were held hostage in a situation that lasted about 20 hours. Unfortunately, one officer, Lieutenant Stephen Floyd, was found dead. However, he is being remembered as a hero for always putting others before himself. An officer that was with him told the media that when Lieutenant Floyd realized it was a trap, he told other officers to turn around, warning them so that no one else could get hurt.
Certainly a brave and selfless individual.
Definitely.
Finally today, we have Hurricane Hans with our Bloomsburg weather update.
Thanks, guys. We have a cold week coming up with a chance of a little more snow. Tonight is going to bring a small amount of rain and snowfall accumulating to about an inch, along with some early AM showers tomorrow morning. Expect some heavy winds later in the day up to 15 miles per hour. The rest of the week will present a high of 35 with a chilling low of around 24 degrees and some mild winds. Which brings us to the weekend, where temperatures will rise up to 40 degrees and dip down once again into the mid-20s. In other words, make sure you grab your hats, gloves, and scarves, and remember to stay warm. Back to you guys.
Well, you heard it here, Bloomsburg. Make sure to bundle up for this weekend and stay safe. For NBS 39 News, I'm Caitlin Doyle.
And I'm Brian Ortiz. Good night, Huskies.
Valentine's Day brings with it love, happiness, and maybe sometimes bitterness. Let's take a look at the good, the bad, and the ugly surrounding this love-filled holiday.
What is that?
What do you mean? It's comedy.
No, no. What is that?
For all things entertainment, we head to Hotspot.
Hey guys, welcome to Hotspot, your all access pass to everything entertainment news. I'm Kieran. Right now we're going to dive deep into some celebrity heat. Many girls would love to have a guy look at her the way The Weeknd looked at Selena Gomez during their trip to Italy. The new couple traveled to Florence earlier this week. On Friday, they were photographed getting out of a black SUV together, with The Weeknd giving Gomez a look of pure devotion, and walking together with her holding onto his arm. In other news, Khloe gets personal on the most recent episode of her newest show, Revenge Body, stating, "I was always labeled as the fat sister." Tune in every Thursday on E! Network to see how this Kardashian takes weight loss to a whole nother level. Let's check over with Mike where he looks at the inside scoop in the Stranger Things new preview.
Last Sunday during the Super Bowl, we got a little taste of what's coming to next in Stranger Things. As you can tell, we are going to get some backstory of events of what happened to Will after a year later in Season 1. The government probably wants to do some research on you. Also, we get to see our cast wearing awesome Ghostbusters gear and a giant spider thing. Is it me, or does that giant spider thing remind you of Stephen King's The Mist? No? Anyone? Okay. Stranger Things Season 2 will premiere Halloween 2017. Why? That is way too long. I'm Mike. Back to you.
Thanks, Mike. That's all we have today on the Hotspot. See you next time.
It's basketball season. The wrap-up gives us an update on sports.
Welcome back to another episode of The Wrap-Up. I'm your host, Jenna Kowalski. We have a very exciting episode in store. To start things off, here's Matt and Sean to catch you up on some Husky sports.
Thanks, Jenna. It was a rough start to the season for both the men's and women's basketball teams here at Bloomsburg, but both have enjoyed a hot streak and are making a push towards the playoffs as the season starts to wind down. I'm Sean Potter.
And I'm Matt Locke. Looking at the women's side, with the new head coach coming in from Mansfield, Allison Tagliaferri, and losing their top two scorers, Adrina Sadowski to graduation and Mia Hopkins to transfer. They started out 1-12, but are on a hot streak, now winning 7 of their last 9 games.
Now on to the men's side, 12-9 overall, coming off a huge win against Westchester this last Wednesday, where they dominated 83-73 in that contest. Mortley led the way with 30 points, and Ymir Greenlee not far with 23. Now for the Huskies, their next games are away, Mansfield on the 15th, ESU on the 18th, but they will be home on the 22nd against Kutztown, and that's also going to be a tough contest for them as well. So winning out here towards the end of the season is going to be huge for their playoff spot and hopefully come out of here with a championship ring. You never know what's going to happen.
Hopefully. That's all for us. We're going to kick it back to Jenna.
Up next, we have our first ever wrap-up debate. Is Tom Brady the greatest of all time, or is he not? Here's Justin and Anthony up for debate.
Thanks, Jenna. Super Bowl is over, and it's time to talk about Tom Brady being the greatest of all time after a performance like that. So it was a close Super Bowl, and a lot of times, before the half, everyone thought the Falcons were going to win. Not what happened, unfortunately. So what can you say? Is Tom Brady the greatest of all time? Because I'm not sold on it.
I've never been a fan of Tom Brady, but after that Super Bowl 51 performance, I've been sold.
I'm just saying, the term greatest of all time and Tom Brady should not be used unless you're going to include Bill Belichick, because without each other, we're not talking about them right now.
I don't think we're going to get anywhere with this conversation, so we're going to kick it back to Jenna.
Whoa, easy, guys. I don't want to get into the middle of that debate. Here with some NCAA is Matt and Jack.
2 weeks remaining in the NCAA basketball season as we round down conference play. Take a look at bracketology. Jack, who are your top 4 teams to take the top seeds right now?
Currently, my top 4 is Gonzaga, the returning champs, Villanova, number 3, Kansas, and surprisingly, number 4, the people that had self-imposed banned themselves last year from the tournament, Louisville.
2 weeks left in this season before conference tournaments begin. A lot of ranked games still going on. We still have 2 North Carolina Duke games. Kentucky still has some ranked teams, so it'll be an interesting finish to the end. Selection Sunday coming up in a couple weeks. We'll see who officially gets the top 4 seeds, but for now, that's who we have, and we are going to kick it back to Jenna.
Well, that's all we have for you today on the wrap-up. Thanks for tuning in.
What are the students up to now in general education?
It left as quickly and mysteriously as it came.
I have never seen anything like it before.
Every time this year, my mind just goes back and it scares me. My therapist said it would be years before I start coping with what happened.
I didn't think anything of it at first. I just thought he was just some sick dude. It's not a crime to be sick, you know? So me and my friend kept walking, and as we passed this guy, he sneezes on me. So I did what any normal person would do when something like that happens. I just acted as I normally would. I didn't feel sick after. I actually felt kind of good. Little did I know it was going to go downhill real quick.
I invited my homie Drew over to study for our emergent media test coming up. I was low-key excited because I haven't seen him over break, so I wanted to catch up and stuff. When he came over, he was acting, well, different. He knocked at the door, and as soon as I opened it, I noticed something was off about him. He looked sick. So I asked him, "Yo, you good, dog?" He said he was fine, but, all he would talk about was Bloomsburg. That's the only thing he would talk about.
That's really cool stuff, you know what I mean? He's like, Bloomsburg, Bloom, woo, 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 woo.
Then at this point, I noticed that he is only wearing Bloomsburg apparel. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love my school and everyone that attends it, but there's a point where you're just tired of hearing the same thing over and over again. Then I knew what was going on. He had the Bloombonic plague.
I just got done working from the Commons, and I was going to go hang out with some friends. Dylan, Drew, Danny, Eric, Michaela, a bunch of people. I was ready to cut loose and chill. When I left Commons, I saw Michaela, and I was so excited to see her. She was walking oddly, though. Almost like, I don't know, maybe a zombie or something. I know it doesn't make sense, but that's what I saw. She was eating a waffle, so I thought that was normal. She's my friend, though, so I thought I'd go say hi. But that's when I noticed she wouldn't stop talking about Bloom. I was scared, and then she bit me. Then I blacked out, and, well, I don't really remember what happened after that.
I am God. I was at your house, ready to chilling. Then everyone coming like zombie. I'm not scared. I thought playing, so I played along. I into corner, and I turned around, and right there, I was scared, and I squirted back. But then Drew came up, and then squish, squish, squish. And then I give everyone else a hug.
Eric saved my life without a doubt. There's something about his genotype, genetic makeup that's the cure to this plague or something. I don't understand it. But Eric woke me up. As soon as Eric slapped me, it knocked some sense into me. I quickly turned around and it scared me, but Eric knew what to do. He walked past me fearlessly and started hugging our friends, breaking them out of the spell they were in. Now that I'm thinking about it though, why did Eric hit me? He could have just hugged me and I would have cured me, right?
Him. That's why.
Eric saved my life.
Thank God for Eric curing everyone. Everything's back to normal.
Cats do not abide by the laws of nature.
That's a wrap. We'll see you next time on Roughcut.